back to another What Bothers Me. Today, I am talking about something that has been bugging me for a little over a couple weeks now, and it's just something I need to talk about, something I need to vent about, because if I don't talk about it now, I'm never going to be able to come to terms with it. Now, this technically has nothing to do with me, but it's just the experience that overall is bugging me, so bear with me. So, this is about a good friend of mine, nobody you know, trust me. I'm not gonna disclose her name just out of sake of privacy, but it's nobody you know, it's nobody like Mary or Carla or anybody like that, but a good friend of mine, let's just call her Misty, for right now, had an experience, and it's been affecting her, I feel like for, a little while, and it's something she really is upset over, and I just need to disclose about something that she went through that maybe possibly that all of you could be going through, and whatever. So my friend Misty, she has difficulty in the dating department. Let's just say that. She's not really open that way. Like, it's not that she's not open to dating, don't get me wrong. But Misty, she's a very particular taste, I guess you could, she doesn't get a lot of guys' attention. I don't know why she doesn't, but there's nothing specifically wrong with her. She's not one of those girls, I guess, that guys gravitate towards. Let's just say that. And it feels like a lot of the time, even when a guy finally does attract her, or like she finally does get the attention, they end up being bad news. So, she hadn't been on a date in a long time, but recently she thought things were looking up for her when a nice, strapping young man, I'm not going to use his real name either, let's call him Brick. It's not his real name, but let's call him Brick, met her at her job, and, they started to talk, and they really started to, become friendly, and eventually, it became friendly flirting, and then eventually they did start going out. They started dating. Or at least they wanted to test the waters. So, not having great experience in the past, Misty was looking forward to this date. She really wanted to wash away the memories of her old relationships that ended up bad. So she really was looking forward to dating, or at least seeing where it went with Brick. So they went on a date, they went on their first date, and they went out to dinner, and it was really nice from what she tells me. They got along on a lot of subjects and topics, and there wasn't a lot of first dates. It's usually that little bit of awkwardness, but it felt kind of natural. It felt casual and whatever. I mean, maybe there was a tiny bit of awkwardness just cause, but, nothing more than the average. So this prompted a second date, which even was more prompting hey, this is going in a positive direction. Now, so on their second date, it was a little bit more casual. They went to the mall, and they went shopping, and they just, hung around, and they got something to eat, and, it was nothing too crazy. And they said that they wanted to continue to see each other. They had been messaging each other for a while. There was a lot of chemistry between the two of them, and he had a little bit of a busy job, so he didn't always get to her right away, so, but he always texted her, usually either a couple hours later or the next day, saying, yeah, messaging back and forth. But then after the second date, even though he messaged her and indicated that he wanted to continue this relationship, whatever you want to call it, that he wanted to continue seeing her, nothing into existence. Brick completely dropped her like a hat. You know, he just vanished into obscurity. He went missing. And I don't mean literally went missing, but just no word. Now, originally, because of his busy job, Misty thought, he'll get back to me eventually. You know? So she waited. And she waited. And she waited. And nothing. She waited a couple days. She waited a couple weeks. And then it got to a month. And still to this day, as far as I know, still nothing. No contact, no, hey, I've been busy, sorry, my phone, nothing. Now, obviously, out of the goodness of her heart, Misty thought maybe when it really became a problem, when it became like 2 weeks, she thought, oh my God, there's something the matter with him. Like, oh my God, maybe he's sick, in the hospital. But eventually, you gotta start to stop making excuses. You can't continue to cover up bad behavior. If that makes any sense. Like, you can't continue to tell yourself these lies, just to make yourself feel better or not feel rejected. And so she was very upset that finally, it seemed like after a while, when a guy, finally gave her the attention she deserved or so craved, he left her hanging. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is I've been told that this term, when you are in a relationship with somebody, when this occurrence happens, when this situation, when you're talking to somebody, when you're messaging somebody, when you're like in a relationship, or when you're just fluent with somebody, let's just say that, when you're like, usually it happens online or through messages, I've been told that this term is called ghosting, which means basically you and somebody else are talking, hanging out, dating, whatever, usually through, again, online or messaging, and they stop receiving your messages. They just, out of nowhere, they just drop you and never look back. They just, and no explanation either. It's not like, hey, I'm not interested anymore. Oh, I'm doing this on the side, or what's going on. It's just no explanation, nothing. And that's the hardest part, is that there's no explanation. There's no reason for it. That there's no, I don't know. And I feel for her, because that sucks. I've never had it happen to me, but that's gotta suck. When you're so invested in a person, when you have such like forward thinking for a person, when you're like so in when you have such hope and trust in a person, and then it's just broken. Like, that sucks. Sorry for the foul language, whatever, but it does. It sucks. And he hurt her. Nobody gets to hurt my friends like that. She's not a piece of trash that you get to throw out whenever you want with no explanation. And looking into, because that really messes up with a person, because you trusted this person. So now going into future relationships, going into future dating scenarios, she's gonna be a little nervous. She's gonna be even more, she's gonna look into it with the even more hesitation than she already did before. Like, she already had, hesitations about dating because of her last experiences with her ex-boyfriend and stuff. But this now has even intensified that more. So she really has to tread on really thin waters. Because she has to, because her trust, obviously, she can't trust her gut like she thought she could. Now, I'm not saying that this is her fault, and that's my main thing, is that anybody who's been ghosted out there, that's who this video is for. Anybody who's like been in a relationship and that person just drops you, no explanation, I want to tell you all that it is not your fault. No matter how much, and I know you're going to hear it from your friends, your family a million times, there's still going to be that teensy bits part of you, that minuscule part of you that's going to be, what did I do wrong? Did I say something? Did I do something? Was it something I said? Was it something I did? Whatever. I want to tell you, it's not your fault. It's that other person. It is not your fault. And like I said, I know you're going to hear it a million times, but don't blame yourself, because you did nothing wrong. All you did was invest your time and affection on somebody that obviously didn't appreciate it. That's all you're guilty of, and technically that's nothing to be guilty of. Because you thought things were going great, and obviously it didn't. Or obviously that person didn't appreciate you for what you have and what you are. So I want to tell all those people who have been ghosted, maybe that person left you, maybe, that person is up and gone. All the better, because obviously that saved you from what could have been a possibly toxic relationship. As hurtful as it is that person is no longer in your life, you possibly were saved from being in a toxic and what could have been a really bad relationship. And just because that person didn't appreciate you and that person didn't take the time to love and appreciate you like they should have, that gives you opportunity to find somebody else. Maybe even better than they were. That gives you the time to heal your wounds, because it is going to hurt for a while, to pat yourself up, get back out there, and try again. And maybe you'll find somebody that is worth your time and worth your effort. Now to the people who are ghosting those people, listen. If you are somebody who does that, if you are somebody who puts in the effort, says, hey, I want to see you again, and then never messages or never contacts that person again, you are a piece of trash. And you heard it here first. And I'm reserving myself to trash, because I would say much worse if I didn't care about what went on my channel, but I do. I care about this content. I try not to curse, and I try to be a pleasant person, even though in real life I swear like a sailor. But I would call you so much worse if I didn't care. Okay? So hear me. If you are a ghosting person, if you, like I said, put your effort in and then drop that person like a hot potato, fix your act. Get yourself together. Get yourself through therapy. I don't know, counseling, whatever you gotta do. Because obviously there is something wrong with you, because this person is investing their time and their affection on you, and you just throw them away like nothing. And that is not okay. Think of it if it was the other way around. Somebody, just drops you like you're a piece of trash. You're going to start questioning what's your worth. So you're doing that. You're making somebody else question their worth. How does that make you feel? Doesn't make you feel very good. At least I don't think so. And if it does make you feel good, then there's something sick and wrong with you. And again, you got to get that checked. But there's no reason for it. Absolutely no reason. There's no excuse that you can give me that says I am allowed to do this. Okay? There's no reason. And if you want to fight me on that, bring it. Because I'm not afraid to smack you upside the head and tell you so. So get your act together. So overall, now that that rage is over, ghosting is a terrible thing. Don't ghost anybody. And if you are being ghosted, don't be afraid to drop that person. If they do try to get back in contact with you eventually, months, years, whatever later, don't accept it. Just leave it as is. Be like, you had your chance. You dropped me. There's no reason for it. Ghosting is a terrible, terrible thing, and I feel for those who have been ghosted. And I hope that you do find that somebody that is worth your time and effort. For those ghosting, you don't get no sympathy. You get nothing from me. You belong in the trash. But that's it. I needed to talk about this because, it's not cool. It's not a good thing. But that's, I'm done. But that was this video. If you have any suggestions of what you want to see me try, or talk about, write down in the comments, like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye!